All right, welcome to the Negrowth Network. Here, we're in here. You know how we do it. We're going to get straight into it. But first, I'd like to allow you to address the people, let them know who you are, what you do.
Negrowth Network. My name is Elliot Williams, born and raised here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I created a platform for African Americans to easily find verified black-owned businesses here in the DFW Metroplex. Name of the platform, greenwoodave.net. Not .com, greenwoodave.net. And you go on there and you search for any kind of black-owned businesses that we have here in the Metroplex.
Already. I can dig it. Okay, first question. Is it imperative that one goes to college in order to be successful?
No, absolutely not.
As it relates to black youth, what is your opinion on the public education system?
Public education system is I would say Eurocentric, more Eurocentric. So in my opinion, it's best to teach our kids with the Afrocentric perspective. And we have several Afrocentric schools, or African-centered schools here in the Metroplex for you to choose from. So,
what is the difference between an African and an African American?
African and an African American. An African is from Africa, and an African American is someone with African lineage that lives in America. That's the only difference I see.
Does your community where you reside reflect you as a person? Why not?
Absolutely so. My community is primarily black. I don't like to use the term African American. Primarily black, older and established, and professional, But but in my immediate community, it's mostly elders, around there. So.
Okay. So what are your views, brother, on interracial dating?
My views on interracial dating. Good question, brother. Interracial dating is the antithesis to nation building. Okay? For the brothers out there, you love who you love, but I'm all for preserving our culture and raising black babies. Okay? Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Yeah.
Alright, I can dig it. Okay, now, can we live without money?
Can we live without money? Of course.
What has Obama done for black people?
No. Okay, I will say this. Wow, this is getting funny and fun about the question, right? I would say, and I say this all the time, the main thing Obama has done, the only thing Obama has done for our people is give our children hope. Hope that they can be anything they want to be. They see a black face in a very high place, and that gives them hope, and that's better for our people, because our future rests in the hands of these babies, right? So yeah, I would say that's the only thing.
When you hear the American dream, brother, what comes to mind?
The American dream, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, car and a house. Well, that's the dummy we've been sold, for all this time. And that's what most of our people are chasing after, right? But really, as I've grown older in age and, I've increased my self-awareness, I realize that's not the dream at all, that we should be attaining. We should be attaining more of a collective type of dream where we can all empower ourselves, So it's not about having the house and the 2 kids and the dog and all that, because that comes from a more individualistic perspective. We need to get away from that.
So what are some things, bro, that most black people have in common?
What are some things that most black people have in common? I would say most black people have been, I would say all black people have been oppressed because we live in a system of white supremacy. Some recognize it, some don't. And I'm thankful for this vehicle we call social media that's waking up our people, slowly but surely waking up our people, and teaching them the truth and showing them the light, as they say. Like the brother Seti said, step toward the light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'd like to ask you, brother, what is your opinion on twerking?
Twerking? Wow, okay. Twerking, to me, has more of a cultural background than most people recognize, right? Recently, it's been over-sexualized, here in America. But if you research our history, that dance has been around for ages and decades, and it shows the natural rhythm that we as Africans have, that we were born with, right? So, yeah. But when I saw a video not too long ago. It was this white girl up in California, something like that, and she was leading a twerking class. And guess who was in the class? Learning how to twerk from this white girl. All sisters. Man, that hurt me to my heart. But yeah, that's my opinion on twerking.
Do you feel homosexuals can contribute to the black movement?
It's a good question. Yes and no. Yes, because I feel like black people are black people, and I'm not really with a whole lot of. I'm not really with separation, within ourselves. But I do understand that. I'll put it to you like this. Okay. I see a difference. There's a difference between homosexuals and sissies. Okay. Homosexuals, you do what you do in your bedroom, and you don't have to broadcast it to the world. Sissies take on a more feminine traits, and they display it outwardly, and they're proud of being sissies. And in my opinion, our children don't need to see that. So that answer your question? Yeah.
Okay. So some say education is the key and knowing the law. Others say economics. Some say spirituality. Some say all-out revolution or reform. What side of the fence, brother, do you lean on?
Brother, in that conversation, I'm on all sides of that fence.
Okay.
Every one of those aspects of our lives is important. Education, spirituality, cultural awareness, all that is important for the advancement of our people.
That's right.
And when I say education, I'm not talking about formal education, like in, what America has taught us, education is. I'm talking about education through experience, education for the sake of education. I think we as Americans have gotten away from that as a whole. It's all about getting an education to get a good job to build this white man's dream, right? And that's not what it's all about. We should be educating ourselves for the sake of education and the benefit that it provides on its own merit. So
that's right. I'm glad you highlighted that.
For sure.
So do black people support black people?
Do black people support black people? I would say yes, but not as much as we should. Okay. We're getting there.
Okay. Can you shout out a black-owned business?
Can I shout out a black-owned business? I can shout out several. One is Yara Imani. I actually bought my niece a dress off of the sister's website. She sells African-inspired clothing and accessories. YaraImani.com is the site. Another one is Mr. James Good Food down there in Cedar Hill. We have Sankofa Kitchen right on Camp Wisdom.
So speaking of black businesses, do you feel like black businesses should consider lowering their prices?
Should consider lowering their prices. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, I do feel like they should consider if they can. And the reason why I say if they can is because a lot of our black-owned businesses don't have access to the supply chain that other ethnic groups have. So of course, to stay afloat, they have to raise their prices a little bit. So I get the black tax. I understand why it's in place, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people have the misconception that the black tax is just because they trying to get over on us, and no, that's not the case all the time. Most of the time, it's just because black people just don't have the connections. In the different levels, because we just focus on retail. We're not focused on distribution. Black business owners might not have the distribution that the Asians have or the Hispanics, anything like that. So we just gotta get it how we live, as they say.
Could you see yourself practicing polygamy?
Polygamy? My wife gonna see this video, huh? All right. Polygamy. I understand, and hell, my wife knows this. It's no secret. We about to get deep right now. All right. I feel like, and my wife knows this, I feel like it is unnatural for a man to practice monogamy. It's unnatural. It is within our DNA to desire multiple women, and it also has cultural implications as well. Monogamy is a European construct, that we've accepted, and we've been indoctrinated into the system of monogamy, but really that's not who we are. Now, I say that to say this. I will say that for a man to remain faithful to one woman is the biggest sacrifice he can make. The biggest. It ain't the diamond ring, it ain't the money, it ain't none of that. For a man to stay faithful is the biggest sacrifice that he can make. Y'all hear me, ladies? I hope you do. Because look, for a man to suppress...
1 second. And I keep talking.
Oh, yeah. For a man to suppress these natural instincts that are deep within him to satisfy his commitment, his monogamous commitment to his woman, I mean, it gets no bigger than that. We suppress these instincts every day, these natural instincts every day to make you ladies happy. I ain't complaining about it, but that's just the way it is. And my wife appreciates me for that. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, that answer your question?
Yeah, some good game. some many. Now, if the races segregated to different sides of the continent, could you see yourself moving to the black side of America?
Absolutely. Yeah. Bless you.
Appreciate it.
I mean, racists on the West Coast, brothers and sisters on the East Coast, that type of deal? Yeah, absolutely.
Man, yeah. Okay. Should African descendants let go of our history, get over with it, and contribute to the American agenda?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We should embrace our history and our culture more than we're doing, and distance ourselves from this European way of thinking. Because I know we all live in a European capitalistic society right now, and we're playing that game, the capitalistic game, but we should always have an African-centered approach to our dealings, within business, within the way we conduct ourselves, with the way we handle each other, within our own community. It should always come from an African perspective.
Is the white race friends or foes to the black race?
The white race is friend as a whole.
As a whole.
If we're gonna paint it with the white with the broad brush, I would say foes. Now, of course, all white people ain't bad. I don't mean to sound like Tariq when I say all white people ain't bad. But no, I actually got people in my circle that are white that I care about and love. People in my family that I care about and love, and care about and love me. So, I want to say all white people are foes. So don't misquote me, Facebook or Instagram, anything like that. But yeah, as a whole, all white people are generally foes of black people. And I say that because all white people, whether they're good, bad, indifferent, all white people benefit from the system of white supremacy, and most of them don't even recognize it. So my thing is this, and I've said this several times, if you are neutral in cases of white supremacy, then you've chosen the side of the oppressor. So there's that.
Okay. So brother, this is going to be one of my last few questions. Are you willing to subject yourself to a primitive lifestyle for the liberation of black people?
How primitive are we talking? Like a fall off the grid?
Situation.
Primitive lifestyle, meaning, that's a good one. No, not yet. And I say that because there are other people I have to consider personally. You know,
Okay.
like my children and all that.
Okay.
So at some point, I think I would be willing to. You know, yeah.
Okay. All right. What does revolution look like to you? Can you paint us a picture?
Revolution. Revolution looked like to me. First thing that comes to mind is black people, our people, being more united than we are. Having more collectivism than we're doing. Um, right now, what I see is people, our people, having their own individualistic revolutions. An individualistic methods of which they go about, carrying on the revolution. But it's not cohesive. It's not together. And I always say that, and you know this too. Um, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Meaning that when people unite, there's so much more power in that than people doing their own individual thing.
Sure.
So yeah, that's what revolution means to me. Collectivism. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, brother, let me hit you with this bonus question
Let's
before
do
we
the
go
bonus.
and dip
Let's
out.
do the bonus.
All right. All right. Okay. So check this out. How could you sum up President Barack Obama's legacy as refers to black people?
How would I sum up his legacy?
Yeah. What has he done for us to look up to?
Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of touched on that in the beginning, and that was actually part of his campaign slogan, and it's one word, and that's hope.
Mm.
You remember seeing hope back in 2007 when he was running all that? Hope, hope, hope. He gave black people hope that, black people can do anything we want to do. Now, there are quite a few instances, quite a few cases where he fell short. Now, I'm one of those people. I don't believe that Barack should have been the president of Black America. No, he the president of all people of America. But when it came time to speak up for black issues or address black issues, it's kind of like he ignored them. For instance, when we dealt with this shooting, those police officers, right? He focused on it. It seemed like all his messaging was about calling the brother. What's
Micah Johnson.
Yeah. The brother Micah Johnson. Seemed like all his efforts were about calling him a coward, and how cowardly that was to shoot the police. But he didn't say anything about the cowardly officers that killed Alton Sterling or Philando Castile or the hundreds of other black people that died, this year, at the hand of police. He didn't say much about them, but he's quick to call the brother, who retaliated in some sense, quick to call them a coward. So I didn't think that was right. Also, with this whole My Brother's Keeper initiative, to me, that seems like a whole bunch of lip service to me. I don't know, and that's just my opinion.
About the college.
I'm not even sure what it is. I mean, the purpose is so vague that there's no clear, definition of what they do and what that's for. So, yeah, I feel like Obama could have done a whole lot more, but he gave us hope. So, I'm just gonna leave it at that. but can I add something to that? In a way, I'm a silver lining kind of brother, right? Everybody, was saying that the world is going to end, Trump, right? But, I say to that, like I've said on social media and the people in my circle, just like Obama didn't save black people, Trump ain't going to, send us back to some, place in the far off land and banish us from America. No, that's not going to happen. So, one thing I can say is that I'm hoping that it's going to wake a lot of us up and realize what we're really dealing with, because Trump is bringing out all the white supremacists, and and they are front and center, with their white supremacist views. So now we're starting to see what we're dealing with.
Right.
So yeah, I'm happy about Trump being president for that reason only. So yeah.
Nah, I read it.
Yeah.
I read it.
Yeah.
Brother, I appreciate you coming on.
Hey,
the
brother,
show,
I appreciate you having me on, man. It's yeah, I enjoy that. Man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Facebook, remember okay, is this gonna be on Facebook or YouTube? Everything. Black people, remember to support local, verified Black-owned businesses. Check out greenwoodave.net. Greenwoodave.net. And if you're not sure about the name, why would he name it Greenwood? Greenwood, for those of you who don't know, and there's still a lot of us that don't know the history behind that, Greenwood originated from Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was a community in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Y'all might know it as Black Wall Street. That's the more popular version of Black Wall Street, but we had them in various parts of the country. But that's the most talked about Black Wall Street that we had right there in Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Over 600 businesses. We had school system, public transportation, airports, everything, and we were 100% self-sufficient. So that's why I named it Greenwood, because I'm all about us circulating our money more than we've been doing. That $1.2 trillion, we need to circulate more of that within ourselves. And it's all about having the mindset that our Black-owned businesses have great goods and services, but we need to share that mindset that the white man's ice is colder. You know what I'm saying? Or Black businesses have substandard goods and services. No, that's not the case. So again, greenwoodave.net. Check us out and follow us on Facebook. Let's Buy Black. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Greenwood Ave BWS. I'm Elliot Williams, and that's the Negrowth Network.